Hello? Well, hi, Aunt Mabel. How are you? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're still coming over on Christmas morning, right? Oh. Yeah, I mean, sure, the whole family can come over here. That's who all? 12. Oh, good. Okay. No. That's fine. No, I really hope you feel better. I mean, it's going around, so okay. Well, you take care, and yep, we'll see if you feel better. Then you just come over. But yeah, we'll get her handled. Alrighty, Aunt Jewel. Bye bye. Oh crap! I have no centerpiece, no outdoor porch pots, no. So, how are you going to come up with, now granted you probably have your Christmas tree up, everything else, but real case scenario, this can happen. It's that time of year. We live in Ohio. So people are getting sick, everything else. So now you've got a house full of people coming over. You have no table centerpiece because you thought you were going elsewhere. You don't have any porch pots, nothing as you walk in the door as a welcoming Christmas entryway. So, because again, you were going to Aunt Mabel's. So now what do? Well, your first choice in line of attack, if it's not too last minute, is you can call a florist. Now, we live in T County. A couple of the ones that I know and love that come to the top of my mind is like Pam's Posies or Baker's. So you can call them. If for some reason it is not within your budget to do that because you've already spent every bit of penny on Timmy and Johnny's presents, it's okay. We have a fix. All right, so what you're gonna need to do is first off, find any of your ornaments, you know, any leftover ornaments, garland, some ribbon, scissors. You're definitely gonna need some scissors. If you can find some wire, a lot of people have this around the house anyhow. There's different gauges, different sizes, and they come in handy for different things, honestly. So that's one thing you can do. Like I said, get your wire, and then you've got to find a container to put it in. So let's start with the main thing. You have people coming over. You want a nice, welcoming entryway. So let's start right here off the cuff with just a simple little porch pot. Now, this is just a plant container that I spray painted. So again, you can go out in your garage, go down in your basement, find some white, find some red, find some gold, find some silver. Spray bomb it if you want to, just a good old plant pot. If not, you know, a tin, any tin, maybe you had cookies in it, something like that. Even a low one, it doesn't matter. How are you gonna get these greens to stand up? How are you gonna do it? Well, it's simple. You can either use some gravel, go out in your yard, or I guess not yard, but your driveway, dig up some gravel. Get some gravel, fill it up because this is gonna hold your greens in. But if you have any of your containers left over and some leftover soil or like soil that you can get to where you dumped it this fall from maybe your mom's or your petunia baskets, go get it, shove it in there, water it down real good, and make sure it's packed tight. So now you're saying, okay, Heather, I've got all that stuff. Now what? Well, it's easy. All you're gonna do is get handy dandy pair of nippers, get your garden nippers out, which is kind of nice. We get to break out the tools from spring. And you're gonna need a bigger pair because you're gonna have to get pine, get spruce, get some type of evergreen. I don't even care. Here's some examples of what I use. So this is an example of a piece that was cut because it's gonna take too long to do all three of these. So here's one of them that we use. Another one, here you go. My favorite, pine. I love pine, it's easy. And yes, you're gonna wanna get your garden gloves out because the minute you cut these, you're gonna have sap everywhere, which lends to the next part. Everybody's gotten into sap usually at some point in time. I have a fix, an easy fix that does not dry out our hands. And this is probably the most important thing that you also need to grab is some Crisco. Yes, Crisco. This, once you're all done with cutting your pines and getting everything cut for these projects, rub it in. Just get a big glop on your hand and you're just gonna rub and rub and rub and then soap and water and it'll come right off. So don't worry about it if you get it on your hands. If you're lucky, you'll have a pair of garden gloves and you'll use these because these really help a lot, especially since it's cold out. So the first thing you're gonna do is go and get your greens. And when you figure out your container size for the porch pot, we're talking about the outdoor porch pot. So you wanna bear in mind all of, what ornaments you're gonna use. Is it gonna be under a porch? Is it gonna get rain bead on it? You've gotta know these things. So the first thing I do is I always cut everything long, always, because you can always cut more off. So I'll take a whole branch like this. Then I will slowly just start trimming right at the bases. And I'll even leave like this big base on and then trim again so that I keep the three-way in there, a good thick stem. But I'm gonna leave this alone because this might be a really quick, easy filler. So when we're talking about our porch pot, say we're gonna use this and you've got your gravel. And remember guys, this is a budget-friendly, last minute, if you don't have it in where you can just call them at Pam's or Baker's and say, look guys, I need a really quick table centerpiece. All you're gonna do is start placing your greens in, placing all of your greens in until they are filled. That's it. You wanna get your middle focal point and you're gonna fill from right around here. And by no means, I'm not a floral ranger, but I can put this together. I can wing it. If I see something is too long, what I'll do, take it back out. I'm gonna nip off some more of that stem and reinsert it. So what you have when you're all done is you're gonna have a pot. If you have the mixed greens, you can see here, you're gonna have a pot and you're gonna save some of these twigs too, because this is what you're going to attach some of these ornaments that I told you to go get. You're gonna get that and your smaller pieces of wire, and you're gonna wire them right on the twigs. You've seen it on Pinterest. A lot of people use, okay, so you don't have birch. Big deal, big deal. Use your pine. Again, this is just a quick, last minute, budget-friendly way to get outside and get something on that porch. Little bows, even those little bows, they'll take a beating. Pine cones. Chances are, if you've got red pine, Austrian pine, you've got some good pine cones hanging on there. Use them, grab them. And again, if you want to spray paint them, I spray painted these gold. Some picks that you may have around the house from other decorations. Sometimes even these gold, they're implemented in fall. So just get creative and think about what you can do. But you'll see, you want to stick your tallest at the top. You're going to build out. As soon as it's nice and fluffy around all of these edges, start getting your sticks in. And again, somebody says, well, how do you get red sticks? Well, that's easy. I just broke a piece off and red spray paint, boom, stick it right in there. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. And it'll stay because you're jamming it either down in the gravel or in the soil. This one here I use soil. My preference is soil for outdoor pots. And frankly, as long as it's a closed bottom, I'll get a pot cover. Again, that's where our local florist can come into play. You can get a pot cover to cover it too if it's kind of a thing with the dirt inside your house. So, okay, so porch pot, simple, easy, quick. It can be done under $15 and you can have it done in no time flat. Nip, cut, fill, decorate. All right, stay tuned. When we come back, we're gonna jump into what you can get on your table quick, how you can get it on your table and what you can do really quick to get it there for that little dinner that you didn't know you were having with 12 people.
The reason I chose to go to Buckeye was because I thought it was a good career choice for me, but I was a little scared because it was a new school, I didn't know anybody. But with Buckeye Palooza, which is where you can go outside and they have games and inflatables, and just having a lot of nice people here, I made a lot of new friends, and it's great.
Taking the area by storm, Lightning Signs and Decals specializes in custom signs, banners, and t-shirts. Also available are full business packages. Their signs feature large format graphics, channel lettering, and light boxes and custom laser cut form letters. Visit online at lightningsign.com or visit the storefront located at 224 7th Street in New Philadelphia.
Lightning Signs and Decals. We're taking the area by storm. Contact us, 330-440-3129.
Hi guys, welcome back. Well, no such luck. Aunt Mabel hasn't called back with a miraculous recovery. So now we need to get something on the table. Well, you know, as pretty as your porch pot was, you know, if you think about it, guys, when we think of table centerpieces, you got to think a little lower here. I mean, how am I going to talk to you if I can't see you? So I tend to stay a little low. Whatever, it's your preference. Do what you want. Like I tell you in the gardening world, there's no set rules. Do whatever you want. But I like to keep things a little lower. Baskets, again, grab a basket. You know, you can find baskets everywhere. Thrift stores, antique stores. I'm sure you've got some laying around your house. Or the tins, you know, like this little small tin. He's short enough. He's short enough, it'll work. Now, the other difference between like your porch pot, say, and what we'll get into in the last section for a gift basket and this table centerpiece is that, you know, there's food on the table. So, you know, it doesn't have to be super huge. You want something short and sweet. Again, I just used gravel for this one. You don't even have to do that. You can lay them in there on their own. And how you would do that is if you're not good at like layering them in there, this wire that we're talking about, this little wire, all you have to do is get your bundles together. Now, everybody's like, oh, okay, Heather, that's fabulous. How do you do that? Well, let me deconstruct this one for you. So if I want to, say, put a bunch of bundles in here, smaller bundles, I will just simply grab my greens, whatever I have, and I'll start layering them. And granted, you know, when you look at them on your own, you're like, oh, okay, well, that's fun. Well, that's still not big. It doesn't matter. All you're going to do is keep layering. And again, remember what I said about going kind of long? You can always cut. So I'm looking for that fullness. I'm looking for that height on the first one to build that, to get my top point like I did in this one. So once I have that, I'm just going to kind of fill around it. Now, if I'm all done with my bundle, you know, this piece here, most people would throw that out. I'm going to keep it in there, and I'll tell you why. Because again, just like that outdoor porch pot, this is a great way to get these little silver balls and these little pine cones onto something to where you're not putting it onto a small branch that's going to weigh it over possibly. So once I have it bundled, you're going to need a long piece. And I say long because you want your bundles tight, no matter what you do. I just simply grab it. Whoops, that fell. Technical difficulties, here we go. All I do is simply, once I have it all together, oh, there's one more piece, I forgot him. Sorry, little guy. All right, so once I get this all together, I can always situate it and turn it a little bit once it's even wired. But all I'm gonna do, wrap my hand around it and give it some twists. And I wanna hold it tight, and I'm gonna work my way up. Boom, there's a bundle. So if you look at it and you say, well, gosh, that one's too tight. This one, or too long, I should say. What? What piece is too long? I don't know. I don't see a piece, do you? So you're just gonna trim it as needed, okay? And that's why I say if you're a little more comfortable this way, making a bunch of bundles and kind of layering them in, if you don't want any dirt, any gravel, nothing like that, and you don't have time to run to the store to get floral foam, that green stuff that's kind of fun when you push in on it, you know, you can draw faces and stuff. You know, you can do it this way. You can just layer them in there. So it's very, very simple. Now, pine cones. I know pine cones are fun, and just like with these guys here, this one here, $1.75 at the dollar store. Spray it with fake snow. Let it dry, and again, put some gloves on if you don't have gardening gloves. Certainly some of you guys color your hair. I do, but then again, I got a lot of gray. So I have hair coloring gloves. Stick these on, spray them real good, set them down. They'll dry, give them an hour to dry, something like that. You're gonna need a longer piece of wire for them. And I will tell you why here. Do I have my, where did it go? This is the other fun thing. The green floral wire tends to mesh in really easy with the, with our lovely pine needles. So you tend to lose track. I want a longer piece, and I don't want the really thick stuff. And again, even with the wire as thin as it is, you can use regular kitchen scissors. So what you have to do so that you can get this on a stem or said stem that you want to use, you've got to get it kind of weaved in through here, because again, if you don't have time to go out and buy the picks, you're not going to Joann Fabrics, this is all you got to do. Put your wire around it, twist it so that it's on there. Kind of like you hang, you know, how you hang ornaments. All right, so let's say we have a stick, or I'm going to use this. All I'm going to do is get it placed where I want it around that thicker stem, this thicker stick, and I'm going to wrap. And I'm going to wrap kind of a bunch, because if I need to use this excess to get this placed exactly where I want it, or to make it sturdier, I can. So I'll wrap it through. And again, that's how you get these pine cones on real easy. So don't short yourself on the wire, because trust me, it's a lot easier just to use longer wire and do it this way. And again, it can then be placed in however you're gonna do it. I'm just kind of doing this as an example here, but this is how it would be done. You know, and in essence, you're just gonna go through and wire it on. You can always pull these out. And guys, remember this about all these evergreens and stuff. I think the biggest thing I see is everybody being so delicate. You're not going to hurt these. You really aren't. They're pretty bendy, flexy. So what if you lose a couple needles? Not a big deal. So again, you can add your bow. You can add your bow on both sides to try to make it a little more uniform. And I'm not a professional here, but this is something I'd be okay with just putting on my table. Again, this is last minute. Somebody got the flu, you have a house full coming. And tying on some ornaments. You can even use your wire to tie them onto the top of this if you want some things above. So Other than that, I hope this helps for a last minute little tabletop. Stay tuned. When we come back, I'm doing something a little different this year, so I'm going to share it with you. And if you like it, great. If not, I don't care. But it's a neat little gift idea. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Myers & Miller Podiatry provides complete foot and ankle care to patients of all ages. The practice was established in 2000 by Dr. Adam Myers and has grown to include Dr. Andy Miller in 2007, Dr. Jason Bakich in 2010, and most recently Dr. Kristen Henry in 2015. Our core values of respect and honesty are the basis for how we manage our practice, and we continue to grow by building relationships with our patients in order to better serve their needs. Myers & Miller Podiatry serves Tuscarawas and Holmes counties with offices in Dover, Sugar Creek, Newcomerstown, Millersburg, and our newest location in Yorksville. Let's get started with building our relationship.
Taking the area by storm, Lightning Signs and Decals specializes in custom signs, banners, and t-shirts. Also available are full business packages. Their signs feature large format graphics, channel lettering, and light boxes and custom laser cut form letters. Visit online at lightningsign.com or visit the storefront located at 224 7th Street in New Philadelphia.
Lightning Signs and Decals. We're taking the area by storm. Contact us, 330-440-3129.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Okay, so some of you guys might have gift exchanges, like whether it's with family or maybe it's before the holidays and it's friends and it's a party or something, and you have like a $20 gift exchange, $25, $30, $50, whatever. I know that around the holidays in the last few years, wine is super popular, and you know, it's great to give wine. It usually definitely gets used up. Most people, you know, with their family time and stuff, a lot of them have a couple glasses before they get to the family stuff. So, that being said, we like to give wine as gifts. A different way than just, you know, putting it in these wine bags. Again, I figured out a way that I thought was really cute and it was kind of dual purpose. And you might be like, Heather, that's stupid. Okay, fine, don't do it. I'm gonna do it. You can see here, I picked out 3 different wines because I do have a gift exchange actually the day after you guys see this. So hopefully this nobody gets that surprise bursted. Anyhow, I just picked out a simple basket. I think the basket cost me like 50 cents. And sprayed some twigs and got some pine cones, did my little ribbon, and got my evergreens. There is no gravel and no soil, obviously, in this because it's a gift. You don't want it dirty, dusty, whatever. So all I simply did is I placed my wine bottles, and you can use any containers you want, and all I did was loose greens. I mean, literally just like loose greens. That's it. And I did all different kinds. I don't even know what that is. I just know it's still green after me preserving it for 3 weeks in water and all this stuff. So it's an evergreen. I don't know. Maybe it's a yew. I don't know. I'm not a tree person. And a little bit of a mix of everything. Again, I just picked out kind of a theme. I went with the red and the white and, you know, played off some picks. I think this basket overall, you know, minus the wine, was probably 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, under $10, literally under $10. And, you know, this is where everybody might look at it or look at the other ones and be like, well, but every time I try to do it, it doesn't look right. Well, things don't look right to me. I mean, basis-wise, yes. But there's many times where I moved this stick probably 4 times until I figured out where I wanted it. And these picks were originally up front, and I moved them in here. And again, they're just loose. So if you have some at home, great. If not, you know, these have little jingle bells on them, they're cute. It just gives a little different spin on a gift basket. And where I'm saying the dual purpose comes in at is once you take these wine bottles out, which by the way, if you are gonna go with 3, try to tuck one in the middle, and when you put these in, put your wine in first, but stick them in at an angle so that they kind of, you know, are pointing outward. It's just a design thing. You don't have to. It's just me being me. But once you take all these out, and the person takes them out and they put them in their fridge or whatever, this becomes something they can either put in their mudroom, sit right outside their door, maybe on a cute little bench. I cannot believe a fly just, why is there a fly alive? Okay, anyhow, getting back to the show. You know, this is something that they can sit out for the rest of this season. So, and if you say, well, but there might be a little hole. Fluff it, fluff it. That's all you have to do. Tell them to fluff the darn thing. That's it. So now not only did you give them a gift of wine, and now they can deal with their family, if they have one of those families, and they have a decoration for on the porch. So again, if you think ahead of time, you know, you can pick up a lot of things really cheap. You know, if it's an idea, you can implement other things. I mean, really, you could put little gifts in there where they would just be set around. I thought about that too. Little small gift boxes and stuff could be used like that. But this was just something that, you know, I like doing different things. And this was something I came up with this year that I thought was really cute. If you're not as comfortable using just the greens, again, you can go back to these bundles if it makes you feel better. But it's gonna be a lot harder when you take out these gifts or these wine bottles for it to kind of flush out and kind of meld with each other and look like a porch decoration when they're in the bundles. Your bundles will come into play more if you're doing a little table centerpiece, or definitely the porch pot if you're not as comfortable. But remember guys, there is no right or wrong. I mean, look at Pinterest. You can get ideas from Pinterest left and right. But these are just little budget friendly projects. And again, if you get this phone call, unfortunately, if you get this phone call, say on Christmas Eve, and it's noon and you're now being informed the very next day, you know, I don't know how late Pam's and Daleen at Baker's and all those guys are open. They may be, you know, if this happens on Christmas Eve, they might be not, you know, closed or not able to help. I don't know. But again, if it's, you know, if it's in your budget and stuff, your quickest way is to call them. If not, these are just very simple backyard quick ways to make something that looks nice, to where you're not, my other thing too is so that you're not running to Walmart or a regular store where 50 things are the same. And chances are, if this is a last minute deal, they're gonna be kind of picked over, and what's gonna be left isn't gonna be very pretty. And you're still probably gonna have to dress it up. So you might as well just go outside. Normally, and if you're sitting there going, well, that's great, Heather, but I don't have any evergreens. Look, all you have to do is drive down your road, drive down your street. Certainly some people have evergreens. Almost everybody does. And you can use arborvitae. Anything that's an evergreen can be used. Holly bushes, arbs, cedars, pines. It's really, the sky's the limit. It really, really is. So, and there is no right or wrong. It's what you have at hand and what you have in stock. So I hope this helped. And I really enjoyed doing this. We've been trying to do a Christmas special for a couple years, and we finally got to. Yay. So may everybody stay healthy, be cold free, and have a very happy holiday and a wonderful new year. And I cannot wait to see everybody in the spring. I'm already over this look and ready for my t-shirts and khakis back on. So you guys take care. Love you to death. See you soon.